Hi, my name is Alex and welcome to the Crochet Circle.
In this two-part video tutorial, I want to show you how to make this simple crocheted dress for the doll that I already showed you how to make. Now, the pattern for the doll is down in the description below with all the four parts, how to do it, from making the arms, the legs, the body, how to do the head, and then how to do the hair. In this video tutorial, part 1, I'm gonna show you how to make the skirt, and in the next video tutorial I'm gonna show you how to make the top part of the dress. I think we can begin. So let's begin first with taking some measurements. The measurements that I will need is the shoulders, the bust, the waist, the hips, how much is the length between the shoulders and the waist, and how much is the length between the waist and knees, because I want my dress to be kind of a knee height. Okay, I have my measurement tape here, and I'm just gonna use a pin, and I'm gonna say that here is gonna be my waist. So first, let's see how long the dress will be. It will be about 5 centimeters or 2 inches. So that is 5 centimeters. Now, from shoulders to waist, it's 4 centimeters. Or that is 1.5 inches. Now I want to measure how much my hips are, so I'm just going around, because this is the widest part. So the measurement for the hips is 11.5 centimeters or 4.5 inches. So ouch, we said 11.5 centimeters. Yes, I dropped the my measuring tape. Okay, so waist now. The waist is gonna be just a bit less. So it's 10.5 centimeters. Now the bust should be the same as the waist. And it's actually 10 centimeters. And now the shoulders, so I'm just measuring the widest part of the shoulders, so that is 12 centimeters. Okay, so now that I have my measurements, I know that I need my waist to be 10.5 centimeters, and then it has to go out a bit more for the hips, and then I want to have it like nicely, like in a bell shape. Let's just go over how actually the pattern for the dress will be. So I'm gonna start with chains that I'm gonna join into a circle, and from there I'm gonna go down first. I'm gonna do the skirt, and then from the same chains I'm gonna go up, and when I'm gonna be going up, I'm gonna actually, now this is gonna be the back side, and the back side is gonna be opened, and I'm gonna do some loops for the buttons. Now the front side is gonna be like this, and here's gonna be the arm, the shoulders, and Now this is the plan for the dress. Of course, in the back it's gonna be open, so it's gonna be much easier to dress the doll. And I think I can get started. So this is the recipe how to do it. Perhaps your doll is a bit larger or a bit smaller. It's just to show you how you can make a dress for almost any kind of a doll. But my doll is also, you see, squishy, so she can fit into much smaller pieces as well. But if your doll isn't as squishy and it's, for example, plastic or something like that, then you really have to take care of the measurements and watch that you won't go under. But on the other side also, a crochet dress can be stretched just a little bit. Okay, so measurements, plan, and let's begin. So now that I've got all my measurements and my plan how it's gonna be, I can start with the crocheting. So I have some cotton yarn here and I have to do chains for 10.5 centimeters. I am gonna count it out so that you will know how many chains I've done and how to adjust the pattern perhaps for your measurements. So I'm on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 and 23. And let's just double check if it's long enough. So yeah, this should be 10.5 centimeters, so that's the measurement for the waist. What I have to do now is join the loop. With the slip stitch, of course. Now what I'm actually gonna be doing is, as you can see, the chain, it has for 2 sets of loops. So I'm actually gonna be doing, hope it will be focused enough, in these top ones I'm gonna be doing the first row of the bottom part, so of the skirt, and in the bottom loop I'm gonna be doing the first row of the top part. So let's begin. Because I have 23 stitches, I need to do 23 single crochets all the way around. I'm gonna start with a chain 1 and then do 23 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 and 23, and joining with the first stitch with a slip stitch. So this is now the waist. I'm just gonna double check it. And it's working. Now in the next row I'm gonna do just a bit of a wider thing because I need to go from waist to hips, and I'm actually gonna be increasing, and I'm gonna increase 4 times. Now let's just grab another piece of paper and let's do some calculations. So I have 23 stitches and I want to increase it 4 times, so I'm gonna delete this by 4. So every 6 stitches and 5 I have to do an increase, and at the end I'm gonna have 27 stitches. So I'm gonna do this 5 and an increase, 5 and an increase, 5 and an increase, 4 and an increase. And that's how I'm gonna get 27 stitches, and this is gonna be row number 2. Again, I'm gonna start with a chain 1 and a single crochet, 5 of them, and that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now an increase. An increase is just doing 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Now another 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase, and then again 5 single crochets, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase, and now 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and an increase, and of course joining with the first stitch with a slip stitch. Okay, so now this is the base for the skirt. I'm gonna do 2 more rows of 27 single crochets, but you do the number that you want. Now if you're gonna have like a different kind of a number, if you're gonna have perhaps here 22 stitches, then you're gonna do 5, 6, 5, 6, so that means 4 and an increase, 5 and an increase, 4 and an increase, 5 and an increase. Just make it you know, nice on the front and on the back side the same. So row number 3, 4 are gonna be 27 stitches, and let's begin. Chain 1 to go into the next row, and now 27. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27, and joining it with a slip stitch. And I need another row of 27 single crochets, chain 1 to go into the next row, just to kind of make the step up, and now 27 single crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, and that's 27, joining it with the slip stitch. Now I'm just pulling a bit more and let's try the dress on. Now this is gonna be, of course, in the back. Now I want it to go more towards the outer side, so I'm gonna be increasing slowly, and because I have here 27 stitches, I'm gonna be increasing 3 stitches per row. Now if you want more of a volume, you can increase more, but I'm gonna be doing 3 increases in the next 3 rounds. So that means if I want to go from 27 to 30, I have to do 6 single crochets in an increase 3 times. No, sorry. 8 single crochets and an increase 3 times. So chain 1, and now let's do 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now an increase, just 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Now again 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and an increase, and another 8 single crochets, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and an increase. An increase is just 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So now I have 30 stitches. I have to go from 30 to 33 and then to 36. Now in the next row I'm gonna do 9 single crochets and an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and an increase. Again 9 single crochets and an increase. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and an increase. Another 9 single crochets and an increase, and then the round is done. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and an increase, and joining it with a slip stitch. Now, because I don't want my skirt to have these edges, As you can see, they are already starting a bit. Now the last row that I'm gonna do is another piece of paper. So in the next row, I do know that I wanna have I do wanna have 10 single crochets and an increase, but I'm just gonna shift them a bit. So I'm gonna do 5 single crochets, an increase, and then 10 single crochet, an increase, 10 single crochets, an increase, and then 5 single crochets at the end. So it's just shifting the increases that I'm gonna get rid of these spikes. So chain 1, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and an increase, and now 10 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and an increase, another 10 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, an increase, and then 5 more single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and joining it with the slip stitch. Now the next row is gonna be just so that's 3, 4, that's 5, 6, 7. Row number 8 is gonna be just 36 single crochets for me, but for you, depending on the size of the dress you're making, it could be less, it could be more. So for me, I have to do 36 single crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, and 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 36 stitches, closing with the slip stitch. Now what I want to do is I want to check how the dress is going on my doll, so let's just dress her a bit. I think it's almost the perfect length. Now what you can do is you can do more rows to have a longer skirt, but what I want to do is I'm gonna do some half circles around. How I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna be doing double crochets in the same stitch and then joining it with the slip stitch on the edges, and that's it. Now I know I have 36 stitches. How I'm gonna do is I know that I have to delete not delete it, but I have to divide it with 6. So I'm gonna have 6 times 6, and my pattern should be 6 stitches long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am gonna be doing it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then joining it with the slip stitch. And that's how my ending of the dress will be. Now, as I already said, you don't have to do it like this. You can just have a nice straight edge, but I think it looks really awesome if you have, like, you know, a bit of a, not zigzag, a bit of a wavy end. Okay, so I already have the slip stitch, so now I have to skip one, and in the second one I'm gonna do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now in the next stitch I'm again gonna do 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3. Now I'm gonna skip one stitch, and in the next one I'm gonna do a slip stitch. Now again I'm gonna begin with the slip stitch, skip one, do 3 double crochets in the next stitch. Now in the next stitch I'm gonna again do 3 double crochets, so that's 1, 2, 3. Skip one, do a slip stitch. Now again do another slip stitch, do 3 double crochets in the next stitch. So I'm gonna skip one, and then in the next one I'm gonna start with the 3 double crochets. So that's 2, 3, another 1, 2, 3, and a slip stitch, and a slip stitch. Now again, if you have more stitches, try rounding them to the multiplier of 6. If that's not possible, you can then just adjust the pattern and perhaps have a multiplier of 5, and you just do all these stitches in one. So yeah, just you will have to be a bit resourceful, because you have your own measurements, and I'm just giving you like a pointer how perhaps to do it. So I've done a slip stitch. Now I have to do again the 3 double crochets and another 3 double crochets in the next stitch. Now a slip stitch, another slip stitch, 3 double crochets, another 3 double crochets, and a slip stitch. Now I can cut the yarn if I'm gonna find my scissors. And I'm gonna grab my needle and just work the end tail in. I'm gonna go through the back side and just work the end tail in. back down just to secure it really nicely. I can cut the yarn, and the bottom part, the skirt, is done. So now all I have to do is the upper part of the dress, but I'm gonna show you how to do that in part 2 of the video tutorial, so I hope to see you soon there, and until the next time I'm gonna say happy crafting!